Hey, babes. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Woohoo, it's the weekend. So today I'm doing something a little different. I just want to share some of the Babes' paranormal stories. So here we go. I'm going to keep everybody anonymous as best as I can. Okay. Hi, Candace. Thanks for posting up your email so I can share my story. I will try to make it very short. My mom passed away 1/28/02 at Temple University Hospital. Wow, just writing this is sending me chills, laugh out loud. Anyways, a few days before her funeral, which was 2/2/02, I was alone, asleep, partly between conscious and deep sleep, when I heard something that sounded like chains, water, or paper. I could hear it plain as day in my sleep. Then I feel an arm around me, but I was still asleep. So in my mind, I said, "I know this isn't who I think this is." From the arm feeling, I knew immediately it was my mom. When I woke up, immediately the noise was gone, and no one and no one was in there. After that day, she would only show up in my dreams until 5 years later during the summer of 2007. At this point, I had moved in with my boyfriend, now my husband. We were taking a nap, and sure enough, while semi-conscious, the chains, water, or paper sound came back first. Then appeared a figure near the door frame. It was too much green smoke to make out anything except for legs, which were my mom's legs, and a blue skirt. Her natural size and color before the edema and weight gain. She died from CHF, brain hemorrhage, and taking fen weight loss pills. Then 2 seconds later, there were outstretched arms across the bed. Then 2 seconds after that, the arms were right at my face, but crossing the face so I could not see. But the figure sensed I was scared, and I immediately awakened. Again, the chain, water, or paper sound was gone. Because of the experience, I do believe in spirits. I even told my family a few close friends about those two experiences. But my life has not been great to me at all. I have been depressed for over 20 years, and it's getting worse. Yes, I take meds, but they only do but so much. I have suffered so much with life that I sometimes struggle to believe if there is a God. Only because I'm now 40 and everyone I know, especially my family, just keeps progressing while I keep hitting a dangerous bottom. I hope you read my email and respond. Thank you. Keep up the great work, and I wish you much success. Okay, so I would like to answer or respond, okay? My very first paranormal experience, I was about 10 years old, and it was the first spirit I saw ever. And it was the last spirit I physically saw, okay? And I feel it was the last spirit I saw because I was so scared, okay? They were trying to tell me something, but because I was so frightened, they were not able to tell me. Okay. They also know when you're scared. So when you say that you said that the spirits knew you were scared, your mom knew you were scared, I totally get that because, when I saw that spirit, I was screaming and crying because I thought it was my father. It looked just like my father. The same shoes, the same pants, the same shirt, but there was no head. For a 10-year-old, that's a lot to process. So my mom was like, basically, you scared them off. You probably won't ever see them again. But as far as the depression, I just want you to know, whatever you put out in the universe will come back to you. So if you're constantly sad and just depressed, it's going to keep coming back to you. You're going to have to try to find a way. I know it's easier said than done, but to basically, when you feel these depressing thoughts coming into your head, and once you realize they're in your head, switch your train of thought to I'm blessed, I'm thankful, I'm grateful. Okay? You said you were struggling to know if there was really a God. Yes, there is a God. Okay? If there was no God, none of this would be possible. Okay? There is a God. Okay? There is. It's really... All right. So you're really depressed, okay? Let's just create a scenario. You're really depressed and you're in your bed and you got your ice cream and your popcorn and your blankies and your Netflix, right? And then it hits you. Wait a minute. I always do this, excuse me, when I'm depressed. What can I do to fix this? Jump up out of the bed. Jump in the shower. Take a spiritual shower. Wash all that negative energy away, okay? And just keep telling yourself, I'm blessed. I have everything I need. I have everything I want. Okay? And just keep telling yourself that. The more you put it to the universe, the more the universe will hear you, the more the universe can kick it back to you. But if you're just telling the universe, you're depressed, you're depressed, you're depressed, that's the only thing the universe can kick back to you because that's all it heard from you. Okay? I love you so much, babe. Thank you for sharing your story. And my condolences for your mom. Okay, I'm going to pause this and get to the next story. Hold on. If it lets me. There we go. Hold on. Okay. Now, please, my phone's cracked, so it's kind of hard to see certain words. It says, "Hi, Candace. My name is Tiffany. And it's so wild you posted this today. I do have a crazy story to tell. Before I go into that, today's my daughter's piano keyboard. Oh, her piano keyboard turned on by itself. It seemed impossible for that to have happened because you have to push the button to turn it on. And there was nothing around. I brushed it off though. Right? Laugh aloud. Okay, so for my story. When I was 18, I'm 32 now. Excuse me. I lived in a basement apartment below my mother's apartment with my current boyfriend at the time. The first time something happened, I just had to go out. The shower was in my towel. Oh, okay. And I was walking to my bedroom from the bathroom. I heard a whistle, like a cat call whistle that someone would do when someone attractive walks by. I froze immediately, looked at my window to see who the hell could have been seeing me. Well, my windows were ground level, so nobody could walk by and see me. Anyways, regardless, nobody was there when I checked. So I thought, okay, it was the music. And I literally played the song back and tried to listen for the whistle in the song. Nothing. I brushed it off, thinking, whatever, you're bugging. My boyfriend was not home for this, FYI. Then, I can't even tell you how long after. One day, I was again showering. This time, I'm in the shower and rinsing the shampoo and conditioner out of my hair when I felt a legit hand grab my wrist. I felt a hand with all 5 fingers wrap around my wrist. My boyfriend was brushing his teeth and getting ready in the bathroom while I was showering. Oh, I have to explain. This was a stand-up shower that had a door and a frame of the shower. Had a gap where you could... reach the shower above... Where you could reach the shower above the door if you wanted to. But you can visualize that. So I chuckled. And I was like, babe, stop, I'm rinsing. Had my eyes closed at this point. When he didn't respond to that, I said, babe, still no response. Girl, I swung the door open and turned the water off so fast and screamed his name. Poor baby. Oh, he ran and said that I looked ghostly white and scared as hell. My knees were shaking and I was in tears. I asked him if he touched my wrist and he said no. He was in the living room area. I didn't even know how to feel. I was shook. I was telling everybody everyone about the story for days, months. I couldn't believe that I had experienced something like that. One of the people I told was my aunt, and her husband is actually very gifted and spiritual. I don't want to say the wrong term for what he does, but he can clear spirits from spaces, and he can tune into places that he isn't physically at. I can't explain it, but I believe. Well, they came to visit one summer from England. Cool. To New York. Ow. And I and I was showing them my apartment when her husband asked to use the bathroom. I chatted it up a bit with my aunt while we waited, but he was taking a while, so we ended up going upstairs to my mom's to wait. Thought maybe he had to take a dump. LOL. Fast forward to later in the day after we had all hung out for a while. I'm saying goodbye as they head out for their hotel. My aunt tells me that I don't have to worry anymore. I looked at her with this shocked and curious look because I wanted to know what she meant. So I said, "What do you mean? I had ghosts for real? I wasn't crazy?" And she didn't want to say much, but I forced it out of her. And she said that one of her, hold on, spiritual, New York, hold on, fast forward, crazy. And she didn't want to say much, but I forced it out of her. And she said that her husband cleared two men who were not good spirits from my apartment. I about freaked out. For some reason, I pictured old men, one in a wheelchair and one standing behind him. A really tall man. I don't know. That experience was something I will never forget, though. I have experienced other things here and there, but nothing like that, ever. Thanks for letting me ramble, laugh out loud. I hope I didn't bore you. I love what you do and appreciate you so much. I only subscribed very recently, but I am following you, girl. I am following you hard, girl, ever since. Keep being amazing. You are awesome. Sending you lots of love and positive vibes. May you and your family remain healthy, safe during these times and blessings. Thank you so much. That was a great story. I would say about 3 days ago was the very first time in many, many, many years that I felt something touch me. And I was literally standing over by where my daughter, Kat, watches her TV in the living room. And I felt something grab my ponytail and push it into my neck where I literally felt the palm of the hand. And I snapped my neck around because I knew nobody was here. I was so freaked out. I was like, okay, guys, I made a pact with them. As long as they don't show themselves to me, I'll continue doing the work I do. Once they show themselves to me, I can no longer do this, I ain't built like that. So thank you so much for telling me your story. Whew. Let me see if I have anything to add to it about any experiences I had. Okay, when I was 10 years old, I think this was right after I saw the spirit. Now, I'm not sure if this was right after my cousin passed away or right before my cousin passed away, but she passed away when she was 13 and I was 10. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about everything from my life back then, when I was 10 years old, okay, it makes sense now with what I'm doing today, okay? So maybe I'll get all the stories out today, I don't know. But when I was 10, I was in my room, the same room that I saw the spirit in. And my mom got me this nice boombox. Boomboxes were not something everybody had back then. So I had this really nice boombox and I was so excited. And I used to always listen to it at night. My dad would get mad and turn that junk off. I don't want to hear that, So, it wasn't on, or it was on real low. I can't remember. But all I remembered is looking over and the dial for the radio, it turned, and I watched the little knob thing turn, and I watched the little spike thing go down the whole entire radio. Okay, freaked me out beyond belief, okay? But now looking back at it, that's exactly what I'm doing now. Okay, when we contact the spirits with the ITC, it's the radio frequencies that we're using. So were they telling me all the way back then that I had this gift, but I just really wasn't prepared for it yet because I'm 10 years old? You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was really interesting. And I think that was basically it for the paranormal experiences at 10 years old. Okay, now things did start happening when I got older, but maybe we'll get into that with somebody else's story. Hold on. Let me pause you so I could, because there is somebody in here that I took the picture of their email, but I caught their name in it, so I don't want to reveal their names unless they ask me to. I'm sorry, I'm drinking coffee and I'm just like, yucky. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me just take a sip of coffee real quick. Hi, Candace. I hope you and your family are doing well and staying safe. My name is Sarah Love. Okay, so she does say her name. Okay, so what is she barking at? I have several stories I could tell. Let me start by saying I believe I am an empath. I come from a long line of women who were intuitive. I grew up in a haunted house. We always had spirits around us, most of the time harmless. The spirits would hide things on us, usually small items, keys, hairbrush, paperwork. I was able to see some of them. Over the years, we had several blessings to the house, priests, shaman, elders from my mom's tribe, and psychics. It was summer. I had to be about 16 or 17. I owned a cat named Fat Girl. Oh, that's so cute. She was a house cat. Had her most of my younger years. She never been outside. I came home and I'm looking for Fat Girl, calling her name, looking everywhere. I can't find her. I'm starting to flip. I'm sure I accused my little brother of doing something with her. I probably shouted at the spirits in our house. Could not find her. I'm panicking now. I went outside knowing she's not there, but what the hell? My luck, it would be that weird. Couldn't find my girl. So one day and night, without Fat Girl. Then a second day, and third. I don't remember the household was like, but I definitely do remember what happens next. I'm in the kitchen and I hear her meowing. So I'm trying to, hold on. Where am I? I'm in the kitchen and I hear her meowing, so I'm trying to locate the direction of sound. The noise is coming from the basement. I open the door and my cat literally flies up the stairs. She looked like she had been electrocuted, her hair standing up, her eyes opened like saucers. She ran past me up the stairs under my bed. She wouldn't come out, and she wouldn't let me touch her. We had a psychic come out. She's well known. I believe it was her and her son. They did a reading on us and also explained that Fat Girl had been for 3 days because she dumb sure wasn't in the basement. Okay. Then said that they took her. She was in a portal or like a third dimension. Just suspended there. Like WTF. I don't know. She was very trickery and interesting growing up. I think the psychic name was Echo Bondine. She lived here in Minnesota. This was back in the early 90s. I have others, but I thought I'd start with the less frightening. Laugh out loud. Well, thanks for listening in advance. Say hello to Kit Kat and give her kisses and hugs. You have a blessed day, Candace. Okay, so you just brought some memories back to me as well, honey. Okay, I had a cat. Like everybody knows, most people. I was born February 20th, okay? I had a cat that was born February 20th. And when I was able to speak, I was able to name him. And I named him Boogie. Okay, so what? I was obsessed with boogers. But yeah, his name was Boogie. And that was my cat growing up. And I had a lot of things going on with Boogie. He was a black cat, all black cat with a little like a little white patch on his chest, and he was an outside inside cat. So he would run outside. He would capture like baby animals and then bring them home to us, and we would have to like take care of these animals because he brought them to us like as gifts. And I just always thought that was awesome. One day he never came home, and he never came home, and he never came home. And then, being bad children that we were in my neighbor's yard in their garden, and sure enough, I found Boogie. So that was devastating. It wasn't really paranormal. I mean, the only thing paranormal I could think of is the whole black cat and him having the same birthday as me. I thought that was a little odd, but, it was a good cat. Anyways, thank you for sharing your story. I love you, babe. All right, all right. Okay, so here she says again, Sarah Love, I also remember the psychic saying that our house was built on sacred land, or in years prior, maybe graves were there. Also that there was a child spirit in our house. I don't remember if a child had something to do with my cat, just playful and mischievous. Thanks again. And you know what? This part just reminded me of some other stuff. Now that I'm going to get into my story now. I had a dream, I would say about 4 years prior to me moving into this apartment building in New York. And, it was crazy because I was from Brooklyn, okay? I never heard of Westchester or anything out of the 5 boroughs, okay? Literally. So I dreamed of this place, and it was crazy because it was like, it was a building, and there was a little girl in a white dress at the top, like, on a balcony. And all of a sudden, I don't know if it was a plane, I don't know if it was a bomb, I don't know if it was an asteroid, but something hit the side of the building, and I watched the baby fall, okay? I ran over, and when I'm running over, I noticed this little hill on the side with a church. I was noticing a little bridge over here, and I get to the baby, I pick her up, I have to walk around the building. I go inside the building, I open 2 doors, I go walk straight to an elevator, I get in the elevator, and there is an old woman in the elevator, and we go up in the elevator, and that was the dream, okay? Now, fast forward, 4 or 5 years later, boom, I'm living in that damn building, and it didn't hit me till I was going to pick my daughter up, and I walked by the hill, I walked by the bridge, and I see the building, and I'm like, oh my God, holy crap. Okay, so now this is where it gets spooky. So this apartment, we actually had many paranormal experiences in this apartment. Mind you, every time we had something paranormal happen in the apartment, somebody was there to witness it. I was not alone. So I knew I was not crazy because somebody was always there to witness it with me. Well, let me just get into the craziest one with my daughter, okay? There was a few men came in to fix the electrical work, or they were putting new electrical boxes or something like that. And I had to go pick up my daughter. So I was like, listen, when you leave, just close the door behind you. Okay, ma'am, no problem. Thank you. Okay, I leave. I go pick her up. Now I'm coming back home, and I forgot all about them. I knew they weren't there because when I opened the door, they weren't there. So I put my daughter down, Tazzy. I put her down, and I walked straight back to the bedroom. Well, I started brushing my hair or whatever. I don't know what I was doing. I was messing with the mirror or the dresser with the mirror or something. And I got that mother intuition. and something told me, go now. So I turn around. When I turn around, I drop the brush. I looked at the brush. I was like, no, leave it there. Walk. So, okay, I walked out my room through our little hallway. Now, when you come out the little hallway, you're standing in the back of the living room. Now, I can see from the back of the living room all the way, kind of like an L shape, see into the kitchen. And Tazzy, whew, I'm shaking just talking about this. Tazzy was pulling a chair up. They had opened a garbage chute that was never opened in my apartment before. And it was wide open. And I did not notice that when I walked in. By this time, she already has the chair against the wall, and she's about to climb up the chair to look down the garbage chute. I'm on the 4th floor. So I was so shook. All I could do was run. I couldn't speak. I couldn't do nothing. I ran, and I back smacked her as hard as I could. And she went flying. But I felt like if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have a baby today, okay? I'm not going to get emotional. Stop it, Candace. Stop it. Let me pinch myself. Hold on. I'm not going to get emotional. So, I looked down it. And when I tell you, I felt death. Is the only way I can describe it. I'm not getting emotional. I'm not. Okay, I am. But listen. Hold on. I felt death. I've never felt something so scary in my life. This is where it gets even scarier. I grabbed my daughter in a football position, and I ran all the way to the basement to get the super. And he was like, no. I'm sorry, I started crying. That was like one of the scariest times. I almost lost my baby. Alright, so now I'm down in the basement. He's like, oh no, mommy, we're gonna fix it tomorrow. I said, no, you're gonna fix it right now. You know, my baby just almost died. Are you kidding me? Fix it now. So he comes up to me. Not up to me, but up to the apartment. Oh, excuse me. And when I tell you, this door would not shut, it was the eeriest thing I've ever witnessed. This man was banging this little door. I mean, it must have been like 2 or 3 feet. You know, that's it. And maybe like 1.5 feet across. Banging it with a hammer for like 5 minutes straight, and he'd stop and he'd go boop, and it just opened, to the point where he was like, I don't know what to do. I said, you need to close it. That's what you need to do. I'm not gonna live here with this open. Are you kidding me? So he ended up getting like caulking, and he literally had to hold the door shut for over half an hour to get this door to stay shut. When I tell you, that was so freaky, and that was not the only thing that happened in that apartment, okay? That apartment building, I believe, had either a curse on it. I believe a lot of people died. I believe it was built over a cemetery. It was back from the building was back from the 1900s, but I believe it was originally a cemetery there, because there was a cemetery, then there was a deep highway that was just recently put there, and then my building. Anybody that knows New York knows that their cemeteries goes for miles and miles and miles and miles. There's no just little section of just little headstones. That's it. No. So I believe they removed things, and that could be possibly why the building was so haunted. I've had glasses break when me and Tazzy would lay down. It sounded like somebody just threw a glass and it just shattered. Psh! And Tazzy was like, you going to clean it? I'm like, no. I was like, I'm going to go clean it in the morning. So I go in the morning, I'm looking for this glass, and there's nothing there. And I turn around, and Tazzy's there. Oh, you scared me, you know. You cleaned it? No, Tazzy, there was nothing on the floor. She was like, ooh, you know. It's like, oh, my God. We had a light with a dimmer on it, but the dimmer button was broken. And you literally had to, like, push your thumb and, like, click once, click twice, and then it was on. If you wanted to turn it off, you had to click once, click twice, and it was off. To the point where you would have a mark in your thumb by the time you were done turning your light on and off. I turned it off. We laid down. And as soon as we got under the covers, boop, boop, the lights were back on. We both sat up. We're like, oh my God, you know. That happened about 3 times. And then the scariest one, whoo, it was a whole bunch of us from my college, and it was about 4 or 5 of us. And I'm studying. Tazzy was at school. I'm sitting on my rocking chair studying. A couple of my friends were over there. They had some beers and whatever. And the music's on real low because I'm studying. All of a sudden, one of those 5-pound CD case holders come flying, like whoosh, whoosh, boom, into the middle of the room. And we all looked at each other and we're like, nah, 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 nah. And somebody was like, it's just from the radio, the vibration. So I put it back on top of the radio. And I hit it, vibrate, vibrate, vibrate. And it said bloop. It fell right down on the floor. So I put it back. I stood behind it. I raised my hand back and I smacked it. And it said whoop, whoop, boop. And when we all realized how much pressure that it took for that CD case to be hit and fly as far as it did, we all ran out the house, okay? Now, there was one more incident that did happen, but I'd rather not share that right now. That's a little bit too personal and too nerve-wracking, so I'm not going to share that one. But that was basically all in one apartment, you know, and that's a lot. That's more than enough for a lifetime, don't you think? Okay, so next person, let's see. Let me pause this. Well, let me just take a drink. Hold on. Hello, Candace. My name is Camila Brown. I just turned 24 March 17th. Happy birthday. I want to share a couple of my stories and pictures with you. So where do I begin? I'm not sure, but this is when it all started from right here. I knew I had a gift, but don't like talking about it much because people will think I'm crazy. When I was 19, 20 years old, I was dating a guy. I really liked him, but he didn't really like me like that. So one day I was waiting for him to text me, and I looked up and I said out loud, text me, and he texted me. That was one of the strangest things ever. But that's not it from there. I noticed things happening, like I would get visions or premonitions before things occurred. And I would be thinking I'm going crazy. Like, why am I thinking this every time? But every time I say something, it comes true. It happens. I seen a person get killed before they even got killed. It wasn't them. It was somebody else. But I seen it before it happened. I was sitting in my living room one day with my family, and I said, do y'all hear the ice cream truck, or am I tripping? They looked at me like I was crazy. Then the next thing you know, the ice cream truck was outside. I see numbers. I have dreams. I was told that I have a gift of prophecy, and I haven't been to church in a while. I was told I'm not using it right. I need to go to God, and yes, I agree, because he's telling me stuff before it happened. I was watching a movie and seeing 3 numbers on there, and I played the numbers ahead of time. It came out, but I missed one number. I have the pictures. I was asleep one day, and I smelled a man standing over me, but nobody was right there. And when I turned over and looked, was a 3 on my curtain that I did not draw. I'm going to send you the picture. I would have seen an angel on, where am I? Hold on. Picture that was on some curtain, did not draw. I did not draw. I'm going to be sending my pictures. I would even seen an angel on the ceiling one day. I was about to eat a Starburst and seen a man that looked like Jesus on it. I've been seeing things for a while. I just want to share my story with others. The pictures will be in another email. I hope you read and share my stories with others. Okay, honey. So I did get a chance to look at your pictures. I'm going to show them in a second. I just want to tell you that with your part of the story up here, where it says, you said you haven't heard from him for a while, and you said, text me, and he texted you. That is so possible. I used to do that all the time, okay? Even astral projection, I used to do that all the time, but not when I wanted to do it. I can never do it when I wanted to do it. It only happened when the moment was right. Okay, so first of all, remember, everything you put in the universe comes back to you. So there was somebody I hadn't seen in over a year, and I was walking and I just started thinking about them. And I pictured like waves in the air, and with the wave, I pictured, what was it? Basically like not to call me, but that I would run into this person, almost like a telephone line, like my line connected to their line. And I literally imagined this in my head. And I swear to you, on everything I love, by the time I got to the end of the block, guess who I ran into? That person I did not see for over a year. So I thought that was amazing. Okay. Another instance, astral projection. I was with Vinny at the time, and at the end of our relationship, it got very rocky. We were together 7 years. Very, very rocky. And he was in my apartment, and I had left my apartment. I had went somewhere for the weekend. And I went to sleep, and I had one of my vividest dreams I've ever had. And there was a girl, and she was wearing my jewelry, you know, the bracelet that his mother gave you. I'm sure some of y'all seen it. The bracelet his mom gave me, she was wearing that. She was wearing my diamond ring he got me in the dream. And I seen them doing it in my bed. I mean, this dream was so vivid. Okay, fast forward. Me, I'm going to see what the hell's going on. I get there, and it's to the T. He was cheating on me, okay? This beep was wearing my jewelry. I ended up fighting her to get my jewelry back. Yeah, this was just a big thing. But astral projection is real. I can do it. I just can't do it when I want to do it, if that makes sense. It only happens when the moment is right. So, I mean, I'm with you, babes. I feel you. Now, I don't know if I took pictures of your picture. No, I didn't. Is this another story? No, that's your story. Okay, so you know what? Let me pause it and I'll pull up your pictures. Hold on. Okay, so I believe this is the one where you're saying you saw Jesus' face in the starburst. Okay. I think you said the number 3 on the curtain. Yeah, I see the 3. And then, ooh, a 5-1. Wow. Oh my, bless their souls. What happened? Oh my God. All right, so I hope you guys, let me get off that picture. I don't like it. Okay. Oh, look at that. There you go. That's better. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have a story you would like me to share, send it to kandis285@gmail.com, and we'll do this on the weekends if you guys like it. If not, don't worry about it. I love you, babes.